Hello, life path number 6. This is A of the Dawn. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading. We're going to look at the lessons you need to learn by the end of this month, by the end of the year. And I think that's an awesome thing to do in general, right? Even at the beginning of the year. I forgot my smudging stuff. But yeah, how are you guys doing? I am well. I have been taking my time and doing things like from how I feel, and I've been dealing with a lot of my growth and letting go of old ways of thinking, and letting go of beliefs that no longer serve me. And it's been taking a lot of energy. And I've also been growing a lot in clientele. And so I haven't been as frequent.
Power off.
Thank you. I haven't been frequent online as much as I would like, but here I am. Here we are, be it as it may. So we're going to start off peering a bit into your theme for 2019, and I'm drawn to use the Arcana of Astrology deck for that. But first we're going to get a little help from the mindset of Lakshmi, the inner essence construct of the goddess Lakshmi, which is the goddess of abundance. This is her yantra. This is her Shri yantra. Life path number 6, your highest good, purpose, ancient technology. How can we tap into it? Okay. So what is your theme for 2019? Life path 6. Life path number 6. Palace, which is a warrior, and the waxing gibbous. The waxing gibbous is about perfecting. That is very interesting. Perfecting your spiritual warrior within. Perfecting. I'm just going to leave this. This is going to be a mystery until the end, and I'm just going to leave that right there. And we're gonna jump right into your what it is you need to learn by the end of the month. And I am drawn to use the chakra cards for that. Interesting. Life path number 6. What lessons do they need to learn by the end of 2018? Life path number 6. Interesting. So the card that came out is this card. Card number 55. It says awakening the senses. everyday intuition cards. Now, this looks like maybe the last card in the deck, like maybe an advertisement. But we're going to read it since it came out. Out of all the cards in the deck, I know nothing's an accident, okay? And when I read it, I'm like awakening the senses every day. That is very tantric to me. That is very intimate. It's also erotic, because erotica has to do with your senses. And erotica and tantra has to do with you paying attention, becoming more aware of and slowing down, becoming aware and slowing down and paying attention to sensations and how things have an effect on you. Like what makes you cool, what makes you feel great and relaxed and prepared for life, or what doesn't. You know, what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good, like down to your pinky. You know, that could be doing self-massage from time to time, making sure you take your spiritual baths, making sure that you're enlivened in your life and that you're not just going through the motions. All right, let's see what else comes out. So the first card on top is your root chakra. And here's the picture. The body, number 2. Your body is a messenger. If your life has become unbalanced, your body may bring you a sacred teaching. Notice how your life relates to your body and the messages it has for you. Whatever physical sensations you have, tune into them. Notice movement, shape, size, even images that may arise. If your pain could talk, what would it have to say to you? Listen to the wisdom of your body and let it reshape your life. Now this goes along with the message of you awakening to your senses. Theme, message here for you. Your body is your messenger. Somebody needs to take out a journal. This is an experience that the universe is asking you to have with yourself. This is good. This is a sacred experience. Your body is a messenger. If your life has become unbalanced, your body may bring you a sacred teaching. So you could like lay on your back and place your hands over your heart. Place your hands over your head. Place your hands on your sexual organs. And just sense what's there and what comes up and what happens. Like it says, whatever physical sensations you have, tune into them. Notice movement, shape, size, images that may arise. If your pain could talk, what would it have to say to you? When I'm doing somatic healing with people, or I get into the sensations of the body, because that's where we're having our experience at. If you didn't know, your experience isn't mental. Your experience is sensational. If you didn't feel sensations, you wouldn't know that you're happy. You wouldn't know that you were hungry. You wouldn't know when you're displeased. Now, when you get away in our society, a lot of times we're taught to ignore our sensations. And so then you get more and more away and outside of your body. Then you'd be like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. But just bring it back in. Bring your focus back into your body, so that your yes can be your yes and your no can be no. Because then you start making decisions based off of how other people respond to you and whether or not people like you, right? out of fear of losing someone or something in abandonment. Those types of situations and decisions that you make from that place may or may not fulfill you, and may or may not necessarily be your true purpose, path, passion. So then you feel out of sorts, and then you get depressed, and then some people take it to the point that they want to die. And that's how important this minute, it may seem very small, but it is a very sacred tantric and erotic practice to get into. The next card is your heart chakra. So we go from your root to your heart. Acceptance. Card number 26. Are you trying hard to accept someone or something in your life? Allow yourself to go into the messy truth about how you really feel. We were just talking about this. Look at God. What unmet need do you find there? Now let's go back. Allow yourself to go into the messy truth about how you really feel. The messy truth. Isn't it messy though? The truth is always a mess. I know anytime I tell the truth, it just causes so much chaos. It'll make you not want to tell the truth. People are very underdeveloped, and their threshold for shame or their threshold for the truth is very low, depending upon if they've cultivated this practice or not. When you are able to sit with your own messiness inside, the universe it's a organized chaos, right? And we're a mirror of that, true? And so therefore, if you go inside your own micro universe, which seems very large and big and loud to you, you know, but in the grand scheme of things, we're little cells. We're tiny, 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 you know? And so, but anyway, here we are, you know? Although, albeit we're small, we're here, and we're mighty. Everything should feel that way, right? We feel that way. Allow yourself to go into the messy truth about how you really feel. What unmet need do you find there? What unmet need do you find there? These are all journaling points. Get out your journal. This is all something for you to think about later, because these are questions that you may not be able to ask like right off the top, especially if you need to go inside and sit with your body. This is basically giving you instructions on how to get your life together. Pay attention. The fulfillment of this need lives within the unfulfillment, meaning that if you can sense your unfulfillment, then you can find out the truth of what will actually fulfill you. Say, for instance, it's something real messy. Like, I don't want to be with my husband or my wife no more. That's super messy. But you're having a hard time admitting that. So you need to sit still and get in touch with your body. You know, maybe 30 minutes every morning, or maybe you have time and you have a few hours to sit still. Do it. Just do it. And then you come to terms with how you really feel, you know, and then you realize that this relationship isn't fulfilling you, maybe in one area. And maybe you realize that your fulfillment is in going after what you want. If your partner isn't fulfilling you, then maybe you can find fulfillment within your own way, or maybe you need to ask. Either way, you need to accept what it is that actually doesn't fulfill you, so that you can move on into a space of fulfillment. They are forever linked as one, waiting on your acknowledgement of their connection. So the fulfillment of this need lives within the unfulfillment. They are forever linked as one, waiting only for your acknowledgement of their connection. This acknowledgement must come from the heart. Observe your needs as being met, then let them be. all that they can be. Throat chakra. Effortless. Card number 37. Does the thought of effortlessness sound like a fantasy lived only by a lucky few? We're moving right along through this story. Interesting. How invested are you in the belief that life is a struggle? The time and effort it takes to accomplish our goals is a reality we have collectively agreed upon. Step outside of this agreement and really observe how your life has formed around it. Interesting. When you introduce effortlessness to your consciousness, it may serve to confuse and enlighten your mind. You guys, this is the picture story on the back. This card, I'm experiencing this right now. Right now. I can sense it in my body. It feels great. I would have never imagined effortlessness. The effortlessness in my life is a relationship between who I am, what I do, and how other people are connecting with it. And my purpose is also making me money. Now, the two and two don't necessarily have to go hand in hand. But for me, it does. And it feels real like breathing. And for a while, I did not get it. I didn't understand it. I thought that I had to struggle in order for me to prosper, or let me see. In order for me to go up levels in life, I felt like it had to be a climb. It had to be hard, a struggle. And now I'm in the space where the thank you is effortless. Like the reward is effortless. And it's not mental. I don't have to think. I don't understand it. It's peace. It's a peace. And it doesn't feel like it's coming from me. And it's an ego. My ego did not know how to get with it. Like, what's going on? And this might sound crazy to you, and I'm going to admit this out loud. This is something new for me to say. But the money is coming in so fast. I wanted to see if I could spend it all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand. I wanted to see if I'm like, if I get everything I think about in my mind, if I spend my money, will I get it back? Or can I get myself back to the point of a struggle where I feel like I have to hustle? You know? Don't mind me. Like, I'm so used to struggling. I was trying to actually get myself to that space to where I'm used to. That's crazy. Don't do that. Just accept the effortless. Accept the effortless. I thought that maybe if I was bad, that the universe would take it away. Because that's maybe a construct from my childhood. Like, if I didn't walk the straight and narrow and you know, my narcissistic mother isn't like, she wasn't like trying to help me be a good person, actually. She wanted me to be like a weird version of a fantasy of she never got to live, right? Which isn't necessarily good. Like, she wanted me to be like bad bitch status or whatever craziness, and I was the nerd. But anyway, I am a nerd. I'm a nerd. Proud nerd. And And so I had these thoughts going in my head like, man, it doesn't matter how much money I spend. Usually I'd be broke by now. Usually I have to hustle by now, or I'll be worried by now. But it just seems so, it's just effortless. And eventually now I'm starting to calm down and like not, and just accept it. Accept it. Accept it. So it looks like you're moving into that. The fifth card is your solar plexus. Alrighty. I ran out of space. Alright, so in a world full of judgment, this is card number 13. Opinions. In a world full of different opinions, judgments, conflicts, and blame, what really sets you apart? Striving for perfection can result in a deep split in yourself. Get your journal. Striving for perfection can result in a deep split in yourself. Even the best of intentions can become a cause that must be defended. Without all the tomorrows you believe you have, the present moment will not support your grudges and pain. Do you get that? I have to kind of think about it, feel that. So if you didn't have tomorrow, right? And you're holding on to bullshit, not to invalidate your feelings, but we all have that bullshit that we just are immaturely, and you may not even realize you're doing it. I've realized this about myself as well. I have like these immature responses, and it's automatic. It's like, say for instance, I noticed when I was kind of reevaluating my relationship with my ex and stuff, and taking a look and see the things that I need to change. And one of the things that I saw I needed to change was my fucking responses to people. When I get triggered, if someone makes me feel some type of way, I can't think of a good example. Say for instance, this just popped in my head. Say for instance, I don't like to be questioned about anything. I don't like explaining myself about anything at all. Like why are you doing that? Why are you going to the store? Or if I say, come meet me. I'm doing a talent show, or I'm singing somewhere, or whatever. I don't want to be questioned about where, how, when. Like, just come. That's not a good example. Damn. Oh, like one of my friends asked me to explain, like, maybe a podcast or something. I don't want to explain it. You're my friend. Just do it with me. It makes no sense, but that's like how I feel. That's how I feel. I don't want to explain anything. I don't like explaining anything. And, going deep into my feelings, where there's numbness and where I don't want to explain myself. There's like anger. There's like, and it's like the type of anger where I feel like I don't have to change it. Like, you should just accept me for who I am. I don't want to talk about it. Right? That's not right. That's not right. I definitely need to explain myself. People deserve an explanation. And I definitely need to get a handle so that I can be free. It's not necessarily just for other people, but it's so that I can have a better experience in my life, and I'm not always walking around with like deep-seated anger that I could, if I peered into it, let go. And it's right. The present moment will not support your grudges and your pain. The present moment will cause you to be truthful and honest. If you didn't have any more tomorrows and you just sat with your feelings, you would be released. You would have to release your pain. You would have to be vulnerable. You would break down. You would just cry. You wouldn't, there would be nowhere left for you to go or hide. You know, we kind of hide in tomorrow, don't we? We hide in the fact that we have a tomorrow. Now, there's a lot of things you would do differently if you didn't have a tomorrow. You might be more honest in your life in general, not just about your grudges. You would live. You would paint your painting you wanted to paint. Hell, why not? You know? Why wouldn't you? There's no tomorrow. Think about it. Maybe we created this illusion of a tomorrow to give us an excuse for somehow, and I'm going to think about that. That's a good journaling point in general. Do I have paper? Let me see. I always have some type of paper. It might be in my other purse. I was being responsible and cleaning. I'm just going to write it somewhere. Oh, I do have paper. I really want to look into this. This interesting point that we found. All right. All right. Okay. So, tomorrow, without all the tomorrows, you believe you have, the present moment will not support your grudges and pain. So it says, stop fighting long enough to realize that your cause lies within. So it's like about not creating more splits, right? But becoming more whole. In order to become more whole, you have to take responsibility. Everything that causes your pain, it lies within yourself. It's not others. It's not always about the other. It's about you and you holding on to it. Let it go. Let go, right? Okay, vulnerability is the last one that popped up. And this is the picture on the back. 28. This is the heart chakra again. Great strength is found in your willingness to be vulnerable. Tremendous effort has been expended protecting this soft place within your heart. It takes great courage to fight the battle. It takes greater courage to put down your weapon and lay down your shield. Enter the sacred space of vulnerability within you. Feel your connection to the earth and feel the strength in her willingness to be vulnerable with you. Breathe that strength into your heart. Your willingness to surrender brings divine grace upon you. Okay. So, Spirit, what cards did you want me to pull for life path 6? Life path 6. So in this reading, we have the lead of awakening to the senses. Awakening to the senses by connecting with your body. As you go into your body, you will find there's some unfulfillment. And you need to find out what will actually fulfill you. And what will actually fulfill you, it looks like, is finding the space in your life of effortlessness. And it seems like what's blocking you from this effortlessness is unwillingness to change, stubbornness, because you would like to believe that maybe someone else is causing your pain, but it's actually your lack of vulnerability that's doing it. So let's just see what comes out, okay? Life path number 6. Okay. I'm going to start off with these two, and I'll put them here. I'm going to put them in the way of, I'm going to start off with the body and then go to acceptance. No, I'll do it like this. I'll just use them all. Life path number 6. So for awakening the senses, the 10 of Swords has come out. It's time for you to realize that you have learned everything you need to learn from the ego construct that you grew up with. It's no longer serves you anymore. You have searched your mind to the furthest extent that you can search your mind. And you've mastered your mind. 10s are about mastery. Even though it looks like this is about being stabbed in the back. And it's only because, you know, your ego is about to die. And it's really not, the ego doesn't die. It grows up. When it's time to grow up, you know, your ego has to take a back seat from what used to hurt your feelings. You have to get a tougher skin, right? In order for you to mature, you have to realize that every little thing that other people do is not, A, it's not about you. B, you can't control other people. C, you can only control yourself and your responses to life. And D, and that's all the universe asks of you to do. You know, the universe doesn't ask for you to make everyone else be perfect. The universe doesn't not really asking for you to be perfect. The universe is asking that you allow the energy to flow through you. And so this is the ending of you searching your mind for answers about how to experience things in your life. The only way to experience life is through your sensations. It's through your, after you get finished realizing things. You can only stay in your mind for so long until you feel like you want to kill yourself. Going around and around in circles with your mind is going to make you want to kill yourself. That is not experiencing life. And I'm sorry to be so blunt about something that people are so sensitive about. But I'm not really I'm able to cope with and face those types of that type of deadness inside and numbness and disconnection, really. So what is happening now is a ending of you only connecting with your mind and a new beginning of you connecting with your body's mind. And if you didn't know, your body mind is different from your mental construct and memories and instincts, maybe. Instincts are more about the body, though. Cool. So with the body, with the root chakra here, the messages, you're trying to get messages from your body. And this Two of Swords is telling me that this is not something that you're used to doing, and you're not apt to trust the process completely, but you're going to do this because your backup is up against the wall and you don't have any other place to go. And my dear, that's exactly what awakening is all about. Congratulations. You are awakening to yourself. The only way a human being will ever go through an awakening process, an evolutionary process, is if your back is up against the wall. Now, there are some of these people out here, I don't know who they are, that enjoy awakening, and it's beautiful, and it's a mountaintop, and they just go with the flow. Most of us only go into this portal kicking and screaming. Because of the fear of the unknown, fear in general, and fear of what you have to feel. But this is a gentle way of guiding you through this. The universe is truly communicating with you through this reading and giving you the gentlest way possible for you to go. This is actually very gentle. Now, I'll tell you the other options is for you to manifest through the sensations, the unfulfillment that you have going on inside. You could manifest it, and then you could learn like that. That's very ungentle. It's painful. That's heartbreak. That's arguments. That's time spent and with people, places, and things that really aren't you. This is getting right to you. Your sensations give you you. That's you. That's your experience. That's your feeling. That's what you don't want. That's what you do want. That's how you really feel. That's your truth. The next card, the Judgment card with acceptance, is very profound to me. As soon as I saw it together, I was just like, absolutely. The Judgment card is about having an awakening and taking the opportunity that is here before you. And it looks like you jump in, even though you're uncertain, even though you're going through a massive developmental growth with your ego. Letting go, learning to let go and trust the process. Okay, universe. All right. This is what we're doing now. All right. We're not doing this anymore. All right. It's that. And so, you have acceptance. Are you trying hard to accept someone or something in your life? Allow yourself to go into the messy truth about how you really feel. And the Judgment card is about how you really feel, what you really want, who you really are, and where you're really going. And hopping on that train and kind of raising yourself from the dead and going into a soul truth, the truth of your soul, judgment. Are you imbalanced or not? Okay, now that you know, now that you accept it, now we have something to work with and we have a direction. All right, so interesting Five of Cups with this effortless card. Does the thought of effortlessness sound like a fantasy lived only by a lucky few, right? How invested are you in the belief that life is a struggle? I was very invested in that, actually, for some years. Someone told me this very thing without these cards, before I was even reading cards and before I even knew what I was going to be doing with my time in my life or whatever. I didn't see this for me. I didn't know. I didn't have any freaking clue, okay? Clueless. Clueless me. I'm still clueless. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's true. Yes, I was very invested in struggle. Yes, some months I got a reading from this like intuitive coach person that she ended up yelling at me for some reason. I wasn't getting it or something. She was yelling at me. A lot of people do that, have done that in the past. They're like, get it! The universe is trying to give you something awesome. Why don't you see it? And I'm like, you know, she told me you're too invested in the belief that life is a struggle. And I'm like, all right. How do I change that? You know, most people don't give you instructions on how to change things. And so this Five of Cups looks like you, because the Five of Cups is like this sorrow that keeps coming around for you. Most of the time it has to do with relationships, but this is about your awakening journey, right? Getting into the sensations of your body. And so inside yourself, it looks like you're sad that you have to struggle. This life is such a struggle. It's so hard. It's so hard. And you know, this is the universe is like, you had enough of struggling. No more. You have reached the top of a egoic experience to where life is a struggle. That belief no longer serves you. And you're having a hard time letting it go. You're attached to it, but you don't. The Five of Cups is like, you don't have to have this drama. You have two other cups you can drink out of. The three cups that are knocked over, you could actually pick them up and refill them as well, because there's a river right in front of you. Baby, what is you doing, tease? You know, what is you doing? Why are you sad? And it's because, like, the cups is an emotional card, but it's also very mental to me, because it's like, especially when it's underneath this Ten of Swords person, you know, it's very you thinking negatively, and you don't have to. It's very, you're training yourself to think negatively. Now you need to train yourself to let go. Persistence. Interesting card with persistence. Love it. One of my favorite cards to see. This is where your journaling comes in, and your morning mantras, and you getting into the new possibilities and training yourself. This is you mothering yourself, fathering yourself. I love this card in the back. Fathering yourself, taking yourself into thoughtful, gentle consideration every day as you pursue your new dreams. This persistence card is telling you that don't hold on stubbornly to who you once thought yourself to be. It may be time to use your persistence to find your resistance. Like, why are you resisting your dreams? What is it about your past that has you so, like, enamored, even though it doesn't work for you anymore? Separation. The Death card reversed. The Death card reversed. The Death card reversed. In a world full of different opinions, judgments, conflicts, and blame, what really sets you apart Striving for perfection can result in a deep split in yourself. And that's exactly what I see when I see the death card reverse. It's you're being tugged. That's exactly what I saw in my mind. You're being tugged in two different directions right now. And it's uncomfortable. It's like, but except this is very active. Like you're in one of those situations where you're at the those torture chambers where you're being pulled by one horse one that way and the other horse this way, and it's happening very slowly and you can feel it happening. This is when you decide to go with the awakening. You can't exist and keep living like with one foot in and one foot out. You just have to decide that you're going to go for it. And be present. Be present with your transformation. The universe is truly trying to move you into something new that maybe you've never experienced before, and you don't know where you're going to end up, and that's part of the adventure. You don't have to know everything. Vulnerability, okay, with the King of Pentacles. That's very interesting. Because we just got finished talking about not being a perfectionist. And the King of Pentacles is very effortless industriousness. Very like king of the manor, but matter-of-factly. I worked hard to get to where I am today. And it seems like, since it's the heart chakra, this is your heart. To be able to... This card reminds me of one of my clients. He's like this king to me. He's very smart. Lots of talents. But gentle with his family. Kind to everyone around him, patient, hardworking, you know, heartfelt, like he lives his life from his heart. He did hustle to get to where he's at. And now he's at a point to where he doesn't have to hustle anymore, but he doesn't know he doesn't have to hustle. So he got into a plane crash because one of his hobbies is flying planes. And he broke his ankles. And I've been giving him reflexology and Reiki and stuff like that. Actually, I have to go over there soon. And I have to come back to this reading. But very rich, but more than just monetarily rich. And the universe wants him to enjoy the heart in his life. And so this situation that he finds himself in is making him more vulnerable. The universe wants you to have it all. And to do it with grace. It's possible. It's possible for you to have it all. I don't know what else to say. It's possible for you to live from your heart. Have a rich, fulfilled life in every area. And it be effortless. Tremendous effort has been expended protecting this soft place within your heart. It takes great courage to fight the battle. It takes greater courage to put down your weapon and lay down your shield. And it looks like your defense mechanism maybe has been because you have a dream and maybe you feel like defensive about it, as if, you know, other people don't believe in you. in your dream, if you see somebody looking at you wrong, you're like, you're looking at me like you don't believe in me. You know what I'm saying? But it's really you that needs to believe in you. And it's maybe people at school picked on you or something. A lot of times I find that middle school days, elementary school days, and how people responded to us and our talents and our dreams really affect us as an adult, And you can have like these walls up and defenses up, when really, honestly, nowadays, people really can't stop you. You're doing it to yourself by holding on to these things. I'm going to go, and we're going to come back to this as soon as I get finished with my effortless work. Peace, everybody. Okay, so we're back, but it's like a different day. It's the next day. Alright, so we just got finished looking at the King of Pentacles, and I still personally need more clarity about why the King of Pentacles and Heart. Could that be someone in your life that you need to be vulnerable with, and the sun comes out? The King of Pentacles, vulnerability. We were talking about just kind of like admitting to what it is that you actually want. Maybe it's vulnerable for you to realize that you're industrious and that you want to create enterprise. Because that King of Pentacles is like a standalone, away from the rest of this story, where you feel are dealing with this inner separation. Or maybe this is the truth, because the sun came out. Okay, the truth is, after you finish healing, after you finish sitting with your body, your energy, acceptance, going into effortlessness, you realize this is really who you are. Like your inner technology, when you're being yourself, because vulnerability is about having the courage to just be you, regardless of what the status quo is, or and the Six of Pentacles reverse just came out underneath that. And the Six of Pentacles is kind of complicated within itself. Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind is truth. You give too much of your energy, time, and effort to other people. You need to start focusing on yourself. That will really be groundbreaking for you in your life. Let's move on to January. I was excited to get back into this reading. I didn't want to erase it or start over. My reflexology / Reiki session went good. I worked on his both of his feet. When we first started, his leg was in a cast. Now he's able to take it out the cast for periods of time during the day. It's looking good. The swelling's going down. The fluids are being distributed. The energy is being distributed. I do a little Reiki on him as well, and I also did Reiki and reflexology, and a little bit I'm not a massage therapist, but people be like, can you massage my elbow a little bit? I like doing Thai yoga massage because it's very physical. You know, I get in there and I use my body, and you're on the floor. It's like we're grappling. It looks like people are wrestling or something. But I do it, especially since it was his dad. You know, it was like, at first he told me that my dad wants you to do Reiki, and I was like, all right. But then when his dad came in the room, he was like, I also need a massage. And I'm like, looking at him like, a massage? Okay. My mind was not prepared. But we're kind. And it was only an extra hour. So we did it. Okay, so life path number 6. February. Life path number 6, February. I should have took those cards. Interesting. I always get the Hierophant and the Hermit mixed up. For some reason. The Hierophant is card number 9. Is number 9. The Hermit is 5. If I'm not mistaken. Let me check to make sure before I mess up the reading. The Hierophant. The Hierophant. Shaman energy. So this shaman energy is coming out for you underneath the Ten of Swords. I'm gonna move these. The Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups. It seems like in order for you to move on, you feel like you need to do a little bit more. Well, okay, the word that came up in my head, commitment. It's like you need to learn that it's okay for you to commit to a new path, a new way of being, a new way of seeing things. And it may not be new, but it's new for you. It's very ancient. When I see the Hierophant, I think of rules and regulations from the laws of the universe that are well established. You can go into any ancient text nowadays and see how it is that you're supposed to live that will be most prosperous and fruitful for you. You don't really have to guess at how to live righteously or even how to heal. You can look in the ancient texts in any culture. The next card is Nine of Water. The Nine of Water reversed, which in this deck is about joy. And your joy is turned upside down. You have this Nine of Cups basically reversed underneath the Two of Swords and the Temperance. And we were talking about you getting to the messages of your body and being persistent at finding the resistance of living your dreams. And this seems like a task that's okay. It looks as though that you're willing to fake it so that you can get through it. It's like you're willing to be like, okay, fine. I'll pick something, I'll do something. I'll go through the motions, you know, because there's a little bit left of your immaturity. Looks like in February. There's a little bit tomfoolery left within you that wants to have one foot in and one foot out of your healing process. But you see, what will happen is that you'll learn. You're going to learn. You're still going to learn, because the universe uses everything to her advantage. You will heal. You will be happy. That's how she is. It's like you will get it by any means necessary. In this lifetime or the next, it's okay. You have a little bit, you're like a commitment phobe when it comes to this. Because it's like, we were looking at it, when I was looking at it before, because this is streamlined for you. I was seeing and saying that, you know, this is a scary process for you, because it's full of, like, the new, you know, the ending, a new beginning. And then in that chasm, you're like, shaking in your boots, you know. You're like, is it really time? Do I really have to go? And the universe is like, yeah, it's time, and you have to go. This is a mass migration, just to let you know. It's not only you. Everyone is healing. It's like, as you look at the birds migrate south during the winter, the universe, we're all part of the program, just to let you know. We're on the same program as the birds, okay? We're not a bird, but we're humans going through our evolutionary migration towards the sun, right? Towards our higher self, towards the truth of our being. So you're not alone. You may have sensations that give you the message that there's aloneness there, but just sit with it. The 9 of earth after the 9 of water, and 9 usually means that you can stop and smell the roses a little bit. You don't have to be so hard on yourself, but don't get lost in the sauce. Because this 9 of cups, emotionally, it's like you're getting lost in the sauce. Feeling a little bit arrogant, like you don't necessarily have to stick to the regimen. I got this, boo. I'm good. Like the universe gave me her blessing. Don't forget to continue the work. It looks like in February, though, it seems like you make a decision to make a commitment, and that makes you feel really good. It makes you feel like you can trust yourself, and that you're going to be okay, and that everything's going to be okay, even monetarily, you know. But it seems like you get a little bit of the big head. And underneath the Hierophant, we have the 6 of air, which is the clarity card, which is what we were just talking about. You deciding to think for yourself, basically making up your own mind. So you see here we have the dream catcher. You begin to get a sense that if you want to, you can capture your dream. You're still kind of shaky about it, but you're moving in the right direction. It is within you to do that, since this card is reversed. And I'm seeing here that you are making the commitment, but again, you still lack a bit of the maturity. But that's what this conversation and this process is for. And again, we have the Mother of Water, but she is reversed. This is what's getting in your way. The 7, it's not the 7, but the Chariot, the spiritual warrior, reversed. So in order for you to move forward, you need to take a stand and maybe draw a line in the sand between you and people who you help, people who maybe you've been mothering, nurturing, and who have been under your motherly wings. It's time for you to take that energy and give that energy to yourself that you've been giving to other people. Okay, so underneath the Six of Air, we have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Air. And next to the Ace of Air, we have the Devil, reversed. Okay, so it seems like you do make up your mind to use your mind to go in the direction you need to go and get rid of the negative thinking. As far as you feeling like you're unworthy of happiness, unworthy of moving forward, and unworthy of being the industrious person that you really are inside. Now, when you are a caregiver in your community, to your friends and to your family, they can get a cop of attitude when you begin to exert your right for independence. And you may not even be used to seeing yourself in that way. What's next? We did January. Let's do February. It's not just about them getting used to it. You have to get used to it too. And it's funny, when you're when people are used to kind of you taking a back seat to them, because when you're mothering people, you are kind of taking the back seat to others. You're not really putting your fire forward. Mothering is a high position in life, but it's not. It's a part of self-expression, but it's not like being out in the world and competing and winning type of energy. So it seems like you have done enough of this, the Queen of Cups. And that's why she's reversed. And this was next to the Six of Pentacles. It's like you've done enough being like the servant to others around you by, giving a helping hand. Maybe you need to allow other people to help you. And that can be part of your ego growth as well. Seeing that the tables can be turned. You can be the mothered one, because you're going into territory that's unknown for you, and you might need, because what came into my mind about this shaman as well is that you might need to reach out for help from a masculine shaman instead of a feminine shaman, because it is about, it's like masculine energy that uses the feminine energy, like the feminine energy like gets used by the masculine energy to propel the dream of the feminine forward. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to get all deep into that. February, life path number 6. February, life path number 6. I'll use these since they came out. I usually put it, if all these cards fall out, I usually put them back, in the deck. You're like, I don't want all of them. I just want one at a time. Okay, so, Aww. What I see here is that you just want to do the right thing. You just want to do right by people. You want to make everyone happy. You're used to putting yourself in the back burner. And you don't want to leave. You know, it's like you don't want to leave that space. So you're going to be going back and forth between feeling empowered to make that move towards your true self and your true desires. It's like you have a, you know, when people become empty nesters, or say, you know, I wish I could have just 1 minute to myself. I wish I could just do what I wanted to do. And then when you get the opportunity, you don't know what to do with it. I think all human beings are addicts. All of us. We are, we can be addicted to the right things as well. And what I mean by that, the way our cells and our energy matrices are set up, and the sinews of our muscles is set up, we get connected, right? And we get used to certain energies, even if they're uncomfortable. You get used to being uncomfortable. And going without it, you have withdrawals. And going through the withdrawals looks crazy, people. It seems like you don't know who you are or what you want. But that's not the case. You know what you want. It's just an inner battle, being okay with it. So we have the strength card reversed. You feeling weakened. The Five of Wands. Like, you don't really feel like, the Five of Wands reversed, you don't really feel like you're going to be supported. And you may not have even gotten the courage yet to even say what you really want and how you really feel out loud. And the Justice card is reversed. And so you're still allowing yourself to be a doormat. And it's very imbalanced. It's not right. It's not the right thing for you to do. These cards are telling me that you have more strength than you think you do. And that even if people don't agree with you, you need to stand up for what you believe in anyway. Anytime I see the Five of Wands reversed, I see someone in a situation where they feel like if they stand up for themselves, they have this feeling that they're going to lose something, like their place to stay or some type of security. It seems may be at stake. Underneath the Strength card is the Ten of Swords reversed, and at the top here we have the Ten of Swords upright, and it seems like you're still putting yourself through the pain. You're dragging out this ending and this new beginning, and because you're dragging it out, the Moon, your intuition is screaming at you. Like, it could be through your dreams. It could be through, now you're starting to see symbols and signs everywhere. 111, 222, 3334. The universe just starts like talking to you. And you don't understand the messages because the Moon is about kind of like lunacy, confusion, like going crazy almost. You feel like you might be going insane. You don't necessarily want to believe that you are who you really are. This King of Pentacles and the Sun. You don't want to believe that you, life path number 6, have to stop being motherly for 2 seconds. Not you. You be like, that's my identity. That's who I thought. I thought that was doing the right thing. And so the Eight of Cups reversed. It's very interesting. Underneath the Justice reverse. It seems like someone is giving you bad advice. Saying, don't leave. You have everything here. Where are you going? Why are you starting something new? Now you're confused. So then you begin to Six of Pentacles again. And you see we have the Six of Pentacles reversed here. And do we have it again? No. And then we have the Six of Pentacles in the same kind of like outcome position. Then you start, going back to what makes you feel most comfortable, being a giver. You know, it's interesting that you would think that if you just be a good person, the universe will be happy with you. Not necessarily. Alright, let's look at March. Let's go with my favorite deck. Yay. Being a good person is a value judgment, okay? Sometimes you have to be bad in order to get the results. And what I mean by that, you know, it all depends on who you're around. I'm around people who are narcissists. And me telling them that they can't feed off of my energy. Like yesterday, I came downstairs, about to go to work, and if you guys don't know, I stay with my ex-boyfriend's parents. They let me stay with them after the hurricanes. Their house is huge enough to, and they have enough money to allow me to. This is how I got my office. This is how I am able to stand on my own 2 feet. I had to live with people who aren't necessarily healthy, spiritually for me. But for what I'm trying to do, what I've been doing, they don't bother me because they don't think I'm doing anything. It's weird, but it's like part of the plan. Anyway, and they're part of my soul tribe on a certain level. Sometimes you're around people who are part of your soul tribe, but it just doesn't seem like it. There's levels to this. Alright, they don't think they're like me, but maybe they will go into the next lifetime and having been under my tutelage unbeknownst to them. Anyway, they're both energy vampires though. And being around him have made me very strong. And standing up for myself with all that bullshit. It's very immature energies. Trying to get your needs met from people without asking for their permission, without paying for it, it's not fun for me. So I come downstairs and she does this thing where she like does this, like looks me like my energy up and down and like kind of like steals some of my essence and kind of like takes note of my hair, my body, comparing herself to me, and then maybe like a week later she'll pop up in my face and she'll have like that same hairstyle. It's just like very weird narcissist bullshit. And I was like, what do you want and why are you looking at me like that? Like, stop it. I hate that shit. And of course, a hit dog hollers and her husband, it's like, oh, she wasn't looking at you. She always does. She could barely see anything. She was just, I'm like, okay, look, bruh. I don't care. He's like, I know her. She doesn't do that. And I'm like, this is not up for debate. Just stop. I don't care. Don't. And the invalidation of my experience and the gaslighting, it just became a thing. And it was supposed to just be like a stop. I don't like that. So, I lost my train of thought at like the beginning thought that I had that led me to that. Oh, you being a giver, is that what we were talking about? Giving too much? Oh, being bad. So to them, me rising and through my chakras and affirming basically my energy field, because I grew up not being able to stand up for myself in certain ways, or else I would get a beating. My mom wouldn't love me. Like, my survival was always at stake as a child. And now that I've healed those and disconnected from the sensations that would have me connect that to love, is not loving to me. I don't care if I lose relationships. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you... I can feed myself. I can work for myself. But it took me some time. The things that this reading is telling you to do, I've done it. I've done it. And it's taken me a while. I've gone to practitioners that have sat with me, with my energy, when it was the hardest to sit with, you know. When I felt like I was going crazy with all these feelings and sensations inside my body. You know, now to get to the point where I'm super clear about what I see. You can't do that. I don't give a shit. And so I came downstairs this morning and they're like, oh, now let's have a staring contest. Ooh, ooh. I'm looking at you now. And I'm like, good job. You know, finding your way to own it. And I walked out. Like, you know, these type of people give you the worst advice, will tell you to stay in jobs that make you miserable, that make you sick. You know, they don't take into consideration the levels of your spiritual healing. And the path, the shamanic path that you're on doesn't matter to them. You cannot listen to people who just aren't there yet. And it's not a matter of value judgment. They're bad, I'm good. It's levels. Levels aren't good or bad. It's like we were talking about before. It's like if you're playing Super Mario Brothers. We don't judge the levels. Like, the first level is a bad level. And the 10th level is a good level. Or the 10th level is a bad level. It's not like that. There's just levels. And in our society, and if you have a lot of money, then compared to someone who doesn't, then you're better than them. Y'all can go on with that as well. And I've had to heal that prejudice within myself. Because I was prejudicing against my own damn self. A lot of times, when I left the house at 18 to escape my narcissistic mother, I left with nothing. She was so mad that I escaped that she wouldn't let me take the bed my grandmother bought for me from JCPenney's. That bed was a nice bed. If I could still probably have that bed to this day, she wouldn't let me take it. She just let me take a trash bag full of my clothes and anything I can get out of my drawers. But she was so mad because she didn't think that, because my voice had become so small. I was just a shell of myself, but I always made sure that I kept my strength hidden. And I kept my strength for myself, to myself. I have a client coming in like 30 minutes, so I'm going to shut up and do this reading. But yeah, I'm sure that's helpful to somebody. Life path number 6, March. All right. Life path number 6, March. Life path. Life path number 6, March. I'm definitely not using all of those. This one, okay. Okay. So we have the blessings of Ganesha, which is one of my favorite deities. About removing obstacles and starting something new. You need that energy. But it's reversed. You know. And I'm just going to continue. And you underneath it, you have the 3 of Pentacles reversed. Next to this, the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And then the 3 of Cups reversed. So I'm seeing a rejection here of your new beginning. And of maybe the help that the universe is trying to supply for you. Your rejection of your new beginning is causing you to go down a path to where the things that usually work out for you don't work out for you anymore. They no longer support you. I told y'all the universe is like, you are going to be happy, boo-boo. And if that means that you suffer a little bit, and you have a bit of hiccups and frustration, so be it. That's how she is. You know, if I can't get your attention by giving you beautifulness and giving you inspiration to do things, because I was telling you, I could see that at the beginning of your reading. The universe had me do the reading the way I did it to show you the most gentle way to get to your destination. You're supposed to be a boss. Not to say that, you know, you can't go back. Of course, because the King of Pentacles is very helpful towards with his family. But sometimes, in order to be able to have something to help your family with, you have to go at it alone. You need that space. This is all this is. This is not, it could be, because anytime I see the 8 of Cups, this is a journey that you're supposed to go on by yourself. But by this time next year, if you start this journey, you'll be at a new place. You won't even recognize yourself. But if you stall out, cop out, bitch out, because you're afraid of losing your status in society. To me, it's a status. Like I was saying before, like being the mother, the mothering nurturer, that's like a title. It's warm and comforting for you, but you've outgrown it. That's all this is about. Because then underneath the Wheel of Fortune reversed, we have the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Lotuses. And then next to it, we have the Knight of Wands. Now, these are great omens. And again, it's a 10, which means, and we had the 10 of Cups as well already, didn't we? No. That was maybe the last reading I did for Life Path 5. The 10 of Cups is denoting happiness within the family, experiencing, it's almost like being grandfathered or grandmothered into your inheritance. It's like your grandmother and your grandfathers, your ancestors, they're dying and they're passing the buck onto you of knowledge and wisdom and understanding of how to be happy. within this Wheel of Fortune reverse, it seems like the universe is throwing you a bone of seeing what it is that the universe is actually trying to give you. The universe is trying to give you happiness, support, family, and love. Maybe in a way that you don't understand it, but it's actually super traditional. And the Knight of Wands is about you putting in the hard work you need to put in, you know, towards attaining this inheritance. It's like saying, might as well do the work, hard work now, and reap the benefits later. Alright, let's look at this Pallas Athena and Waxing Gibbous. Making good time. What did we say the Waxing Gibbous was? About sharing. Oh. So, you're a giver. Okay? You're a giver. And the Pallas Athena is about being a warrior and about justice, doing what's right. So we're going to look at the Whispers of Love to read these two cards together to see if we can bring it home. The message. The thing that's coming in my head is that you have this down pat. Like being a giver, do you understand what I'm saying? That will never leave you no matter what you do. Like that part of you will be in everything that you do. You don't have to worry about losing that part of you. Maybe you have a negative
battery low.
Maybe you have been taught that people who are like this are bad people. Maybe you don't think that you can combine the two in your own unique way. You absolutely can. Combine your intuition and giving motherly soul with being a boss. That's part of the goal. So the three cards that came out. Be willing to express love. That's the first one. Focus on love. And love endures. These are really beautiful cards. So focus on love says, look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. Love endures is saying, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. Universe, I'm not understanding. Maybe I wasn't focused enough on this Pallas Athena. I was talking Pallas and Waxing Gibbous, please. That makes no sense to me. And if the same cards come out, so be it. Pallas Athena. Waxing Gibbous. Germain. Pallas Athena. Relaxing your bliss. Love endures. Comes out again. Appreciate this moment. Take a chance on love. Be in the present and dream of the future. Spend some quality time together. Demonstrate love. True love. Get to know each other. And treasure your loved ones. So, okay, we're going to do this love indoors. Because I felt a connection to it last time it came up. All the rest of them, I don't have time. Alright, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. I feel like you have to fight to be whole. And I feel like that's what this card is saying. You can't have one without the other. You can't be a loving person and not take care of your own needs first. Or later. But nonetheless, it's time for you to... The phrase that came in my head, it sounds wrong, like hang up your hat. It's almost like you need to pack up your life and go off to college or something. Go study abroad. Like, you need to do something that's just for you, but in the end it will be for everyone else. In the end. This is a spiritual practice. And it does seem like this energy coming into your life makes you lose faith. It's like you don't really like this. This is very uncomfortable for you. This is very uncomfortable energy for you. And it seems like the universe is fighting harder for this than you are right now. But as the year goes on, we'll check back in. And the love endures keeps coming up for me for some reason. Universe, what do you want me to say about it? Love endures. This is an endurance race. This is not about you staying the same during your life and like you're in the race of your life. This is a mythical journey, and this is going to take some time. So you are going to have to use that love within yourself, and it's going to have to sustain you in this as you fight to maybe share a different part of yourself. This is a struggle for you. But one day it won't be. Use your love that you're so good at giving to withstand every situation. And see your dream through. Like the other card that came out about your dreams, that I felt that one. But all of them, I really don't have time to peep into them. Maybe next time. Maybe the next reading we do. I'll spend more time with the whispers of love for you. But I love you guys very much. Have a happy holiday. Maybe you'll be able to watch this during Christmas for yourself. Peace.